Gemma Collins leaves fans speechless over her real age as she compares herself to Jesus.
Kevin Costner gets a puppy. Yellowstone star introduces fans to Precious Pooch after Christine Baumgartner divorce.
Calista Flockhart, 59, reveals she and husband Harrison Ford, 81, like to play practical jokes on each other. I hide behind every corner.
Hello, and welcome to Barely Contained, the podcast that stands up and performs an impromptu hacker in the face of celebrity showbiz journalism. I'm Chris Beckett, and I'm joined, as ever, by Matt Withers. Matt, hello.
Hello there, Chris Beckett. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm getting over a bit of a bug, but fingers crossed my voice should hold up for our trio of great stories.
Yes, let's hope so. Let's hope you don't cough and splutter through these absolute bona fide classics of celebrity journalism we're about to cast our eyes over.
They really are humdingers. What are you going to kick us off with?
Well, I'm going to start off with a story that's on the website of the Daily Mirror, and it's headlined, Gemma Collins leaves fans speechless over her real age as she compares herself to Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, there's one bit of that headline that leaves me speechless, and it's nothing to do with her age.
No, real age, it should say, is in kind of inverted commas for some strange reason. And you might look at this this headline, readers, and think, well, this is a bit of a trick being played on us here by the headline writers. Gemma Collins wouldn't be referring to the Son of God. She's clearly referring to Arsenal striker Gabriel Jesus. But you'd be wrong. No, Gemma Collins genuinely is comparing herself to my Lord and yours, old Jesus Christ.
Yes, I mean, you could argue it's following a fairly well-trodden path of celebrities doing that over the years, John Lennon and co. But even so, you'd probably argue that she's perhaps the least deserving person who've ever made this comparison.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I suppose she's not getting to David Icke territory. Well, we'll get onto this. Well, whether she actually believes herself to be the brethren of a deity or not. The stand first is the only way is Essex star Gemma Collins left fans speechless as she revealed her real age whilst comparing herself to Jesus in a birthday celebrations post.
Her birthday's not December the 25th, is it?
that would be the giveaway.
I'm stretching here. I'm trying to justify it.
Well, let's see. It begins, Gemma Collins left her fans speechless as she revealed her real age while celebrating her birthday. Not a great deal of variation, I'd say, in the headline, the stand first, and the intro there, in that they're largely identical. The only way is Essex Star marked her milestone by jetting off on a luxury holiday to the Maldives. She soaked up the sun in the gorgeous location. Gemma took to her Instagram where she posed. Yes, literally. I've got a lovely glass of best bitter on the go here. Where she posed for a photo inside her luxurious hotel room, looking straight out onto a sandy beach.
Oh, it'll do that in the Maldives.
Yes. I've never been, probably never will, but I believe it's quite picturesque.
At this stage, though, just while we're, as you mentioned, there's been a lot of references to Gemma Collins's real age. Would you care to hazard a guess?
Well, it's a bit of a giveaway because I've got her in front of me here, so I know. I think the age that she is probably the age I would have guessed about.
Well, yes,
yeah. So no, there's no shocks here. So the reality TV star donned a pink swimsuit as she admired the scenery. Alongside the snap, Gemma wrote, 43 today, namaste, no regrets, come to the Maldives to reconnect with nature and ground myself for the year ahead and continue my sole purpose. And thank you to all the rejection, the nose, you're not good enough, so people looking down their nose at me because I was a reality star. We all start somewhere, and I'm proud to be a reality star. Jesus was born in a stable, and look what he did. I mean, I think it's lost to history, but I would imagine that Jesus' punctuation would be somewhat better than Gemma Collins is.
Well, yes, and also he'd probably spell sole purpose correctly.
Yeah, sole purpose is SOUL, and the you're in you're not good enough is the predictable YOU. We're just doing a bit of sub editing on the fly as we go through here. So much here like
Yeah.
this. She begins 43 today. So as you were hinting, um, you know, I mean, we're not being unchivalrous here. She looks about 43.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, as both being older than her, there's no bitterness from us.
I mean, I'm the opposite. I would say, Chris. I am a year old. I'm 44. Just last year, I was told by no one other than the former Home Secretary Alan Johnson that I would be able to, like him, be a writer for Saga magazine, because one has to be over 50 to write for them, which was a bit of a shock. I'd had a hard paper round.
As did he.
Well, indeed. I mean, he doesn't like to talk about it, but he himself has done the deliveries.
Wow. And yeah, I mean, is she sort of? I mean, Jesus wasn't a reality star. I think we can.
Or was he? Was he the original reality?
Well,
I'm sounding like a trendy vicar, but in many ways, Jesus was the original reality star. He was voted off too early.
Yeah. Come back next Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite the comparison to make, isn't it?
What I would sort of take a look at is that she says, because I was a reality star, we all start somewhere. So by that, she's suggesting some sort of progression that she's gone beyond reality star. What is she now?
I suppose. I mean, I suppose she's a full-time influencer now, isn't she? I don't know if I've told this story on the pod before, but a few years ago, I found myself at the launch of a new wine from a well-known kind of mass-producing wine company. And Gemma Collins was there in a corner, surrounded by security men, who were shouting at anyone who went within about 15 meters of her, "You may not approach the talent." I mean, I wasn't that bothered, to be honest. I was just there for the free wine.
You weren't trying to approach the talent.
I was not trying to approach the talents. I mean, I didn't, I'm not sure I would describe her as the talent myself. But no, you're absolutely right. Yeah, she's suggesting that, she started off as a reality TV star and, now she's a UNESCO ambassador.
Yeah, exactly.
She added, "You're the ones who paid for my Maldives trip. X or kiss, because it made me stronger, more determined, and more focused. Happy birthday to me." Gemma was flooded with comments. As her pals Jedward wrote, "Gemma, our heart and family, you bring so much joy and love to us, surrounding you with love and hugs on this wonderful day, your birthday day. Happy birthday."
Yeah, you can tell a lot by someone's, status by the sort of people who come out to wish them happy birthday.
Yeah. It wasn't Barack Obama. It was Jedward.
I know it's you're the ones who paid for my Maldives trip. Is that like a thank you or a bit of a like, haha, suckers?
It's a bit like that. I don't know what it means. Did she crowdfund it? Who would chip into a crowdfunder for Gemma Collins to go to the Maldives?
Yeah. I mean, I would say though, a trip to the Maldives would probably make me stronger, more determined, and more focused.
Yeah. Well, quite. Chloe Sims added, "Happy birthday, GC. Hope you have the best day and beautiful holiday." Claire Sweeney, it's all the big guns, isn't it?
Oh,
Claire Sweeney commented, "Happy birthday, darling." Susie Wells said, "Happy birthday, Gemma. Have a lovely day." Gemma kicked off her birthday celebrations back in the UK as she enjoyed a glass of fizz at the posh Mandarin Hotel near London's Hyde Park.
I feel a bit disappointed in Claire Sweeney.
Yeah, I thought she was better than that for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just put her on a slightly higher pedestal. I didn't think she was in the kind of, the Jedward range. Oh, Claire. In the caption, the former The Only Way is Essex star urged her 2 million followers, "Happy Sunday, everyone. Spring is coming. Hold on in there. Keep connecting to Mother Nature and your higher self. Do you spend your time constantly on the phone and not living life? Ditch the phone today. Get out. The sun is shining. Go breathe in the air." If
I
someone
tell
said
you
to
what, if they
sorry.
ever relaunch, why don't you?
Yeah. Oh, lovely little reference for our Gen Z listeners.
Exactly.
Oh, wonderful. She goes on, if someone said to you 10 years ago you was going to be stuck all day looking at a phone, what would you have said? Comment below.
On your phone.
Well, this is it. So, however, fans were quick to point out that Gemma's own phone was out on the table. With your phone literally in front of you, open on the table. Come on, Gem, put it away, said one fan. As another chimed in, are you making this post whilst on your phone, which is on in front of you at the dinner table? Joke. A third wrote, practice what you preach. Put your phone away. As a fourth commented, her phone is literally on the table.
Yeah, you'll never get past these eagle-eyed viewers.
Yeah. One thing, I mean, that is the end of this particular story. But listeners, you may have recalled that no less than 3 times we were told that fans have been left speechless over her real age.
Mm.
I don't recall that being mentioned at any point in the story.
No one said, wow, 43.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have put you a day older than 42.
It's not mentioned. The headline is Gemma Collins leaves fans speechless over her real age as she compares herself to Jesus. And it's not mentioned.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe there's no quotes because the fans were literally rendered speechless.
I would like to pick up on the first comment. I don't know if you've had a
No,
peruse of those. Shunt 1990 says she compared herself to Jesus. If this is true, she comes across as very big-headed. I mean, good point.
It's a fair point from Shunt 1990.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of other comments, some fairly, unpleasant, so we will gloss over those. But yeah, an absolute banger to kick things off.
There's one more. There's Morticia 1947 who's taken this quite literally. Morticia said, "I always thought Jesus was 33 when he died, but did he not die and marry Mary Magdalene and have 3 children? Gemma is certainly not as famous as Jesus."
Tell you what, that one has not had any reaction, but I'm going to give it a thumbs up.
Yeah, it's fair to say that Jesus is probably worldwide the bigger draw.
Yes.
Now, Chris, it's your turn to bring something to the table. What have you got?
Right. Now, this is from the dailymail.com, and the headline, Kevin Costner gets a puppy. Yellowstone star introduces fans to precious pooch after Christine Baumgartner divorce.
Ooh.
It's curious juxtaposition, that. So it's almost like his new beau.
Yes, it seems to be confusing in the reader's minds, correlation and causation, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, not that we're in any way suggesting that there's anything, untoward about Kevin Costner's relationship with his new puppy.
No, absolutely. This is not a Richard Gere situation.
Yeah, your lawyers do not need to be listening. Kevin Costner is the proud new owner of a precious puppy. The actor, 69, revealed the new furry member of his family as he shared adorable snaps of the pooch to his Instagram on Thursday.
Furry member of his family?
Yes. Another one. I mean, he had that mullet in the 80s. Newest addition to the family. I'm already in love with this special guy, Kevin, who recently finalized his divorce from Christine Baumgartner, captioned the post. Photos captured the playful dog acclimating to life as a Costner, from enjoying the sunshine to naps in his owner's arms.
Acclimating? Is that a word?
Yeah.
Is
I
it?
didn't. I mean, I tripped over that because I was like, should not acclimatizing?
Hmm. Well, if it's a word, then every day's a skills day on Barely Contained.
Well, exactly. And I mean, do pets really have to, carry the heavy burden of being a Costner?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to put onto any pup.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was just thinking when I've read this story, who would they give this to? In a newsroom. I mean, it would probably be this would probably be work experience territory, wouldn't it?
I would say, yeah, you'd give it to the workie, say, knock out 400 words on this. Yeah, I'd say.
We've got a picture of Kevin Costner with a puppy.
Yeah.
Here you go. Give it us back in an hour. Um, the vending machine's just down the corridor.
Yeah.
There are some toilets as well. The first snap captured the puppy dashing out on the grass. His owner watched in amusement. Kevin stood by his massive truck, a surfboard equipped to the roof.
Hmm.
Equipped to the roof.
Yeah, I don't think that's the word that they're looking for there.
I'm starting to wonder if there might be some AI involvement in this
Oh
story.
gosh, I bet it is. Yeah. Oh, they've come for us. They've come for the
Yeah.
journalists.
Once they get Costner, then they've got a hold of us. The second photo showed the young pup dozing off in Costner's arms. Kevin appeared content as he held the dog.
Dozing off his night. Sounds like he's had it put down.
Just putting you to sleep.
Yeah, it's not just for Christmas, Kev.
Kevin appeared content. Yeah,
Yeah.
but was he masking his secret torment at his recent divorce? Is that what you're suggesting? And the third and final snap showed the dog resting on the floor. He looked absolutely adorable, the bone-shaped name tag in view. Wow, this is just such a rich story. By the looks of his Instagram stories, the dog already appears to be enjoying quite the luxurious life, with Kevin sharing a snap of him holding his dog on a beachfront property.
Does that suggest that the dog's got an Instagram? Sounds like it, doesn't it? By the looks of his Instagram stories, the dog already appears to be enjoying quite the luxurious life.
That's true, yeah. Maybe that's the
Probably
first
not that
things
uncommon.
first, give him an Instagram.
Yeah, that's the first thing you do, isn't it? Get back from
Yeah.
Battersea, give him an Instagram.
Hashtag we love pets. The new edition comes just over 4 months after Kevin finalised his divorce from Christine Baumgartner, his wife of 19 years. Baumgartner and Costner had first met on a golf course back in 1994 when he was rehearsing for his 1996 movie Tin Cup.
I do not remember Tin Cup.
Tin Cup is actually, I saw it advertised the other day. I think it's on like Comedy Central. It's
Oh,
actually
really?
quite a funny film.
Ah, okay, I've never heard of it.
Yeah, no, it's pretty decent, pretty decent.
Okay.
After he split with wife Cindy Silver that year, he started dating Bridget Rooney, who he had a child with. But after they broke up in 1998, he ran into Baumgartner again at a restaurant, and then they started dating shortly thereafter.
Nice use of the word thereafter. Also, nice use of
Yeah,
Wikipedia.
exactly. They tied the knot in September 2004 at the actor's 160-acre ranch in Aspen, Colorado, dubbed the Dunbar, named after his Dances with Wolves character.
This is really getting padded out now, isn't it?
Oh, it is. They shared some sons. Anything else about a few dog pics? No, no more dog. Is that it?
I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
He's got
Let's
a
have a look at
dog.
the comments. There's got to be some good dog lovers. They love to comment on this sort of thing. New POV. That's a very cute little fella, and I don't mean Costner. Lol. I see he adopted the dog at a housebroken age, at least partially trained, and maybe even already fixed? Question mark. I wish them a good, joyful life together. Brackets, although his primary human will probably be a staffer who feeds, walks, does vet visits, and sits in regularly while the star travels or is just off being a star.
Hmm. I mean, it's fair to say, unusually for the the Daily Mail, these are just generally quite nice comments about the dog, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't know why they had to mention whether they were fixed or not, but yeah, I mean, I think we can sum it up by Crumbs Chief from East Grinstead's comment, which just says, "Doggo."
Yeah, can't really add anything to that.
Yeah. Okay, Matt. What have you got to round us off with?
I'm back in the Daily Mail online. I've got a story headline. Calista Flockhart, 59, reveals she and husband Harrison Ford, 81, like to play practical jokes on each other. I hide behind every corner.
Every corner?
Every corner. So if you did, it wouldn't work as a practical joke, would it? Because every time you turn the corner, it'd be like, oh, I suppose Calista's going to be hiding behind this.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, McBeal's there again.
yeah. So that's a rubbish. You do it every time. It's a rubbish practical joke, isn't it?
You know, I mean, obviously, it's my sub-editing days are, a long gone. But surely they could have gone with Ally McBeadle.
Oh, lovely stuff. Yes, that's very good. Excellent. Should we just wrap up now? This episode
Yeah,
on
yeah.
that?
Mic drop.
Oh, wonderful.
But
But we must plow on.
he's 81, though. We have to be a bit mindful of suddenly jumping out and scaring a octogenarian.
That's true. I suppose she has to be around every corner now because if he went round a corner and she wasn't there, that act could have an effect on him. Yeah,
she's got him on a string.
she's really boxed herself into a corner with this corner hiding routine, hasn't she?
Yeah.
Calista Flockhart and husband Harrison Ford's romance has endured for more than 21 years and counting, 13 of which as a married couple.
Bless him.
It turns out one of their secrets to a lasting relationship is lots of laughter, which often stems from the practical jokes they play on one another.
Oh, these better be good.
During an interview with the New York Times, the Ally McBeal alum confessed that they've both gotten their fair shares of screams and laughs out of one another by hiding behind corners in their home and using fake bugs to spook their mate. The Ally McBeal alum.
God.
That. Yeah. In fact, she's gotten so good at surprising Ford that she's referred to herself as the scare monster at home.
Know what, Matt? I mean, maybe I'm just cynical. I'm wondering if she's doing the whole, Madonna body of evidence routine. She's trying to scare him into a, not even an early grave, a probably statistically probable grave.
Statistically, I suspect he is probably a few years older than the actual average lifespan for an American man. I would imagine that's about 79, something like that.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, and for the lawyers, we're not suggesting that Calista Flockhart is trying to shock Harrison Ford. She has been playing a very long game, if so, hasn't she?
Yeah.
Because I hide behind every corner, she explained. And so Harrison will walk in, and then I'll go, rah! And he'll go, wah-ooh-ah! And then I die laughing.
Great times.
So she goes rah, that's spelled R-A-A-A-H. And if you don't know wah-ooh-ah, which is what Harrison, that's the noise that he makes, that's W-U-Y-A-A-H.
Yeah. It's an interesting one.
I'll put a plastic spider inside his big ice cubes in the tray, and then he'll drink it, Flockhart added of her scare tactics. But then I'll go to bed 2 weeks later, and he's out of town in Jackson, and I'll take the covers down, and there's this little rubber scorpion. It's fun.
Great times.
Oh, my word. What an annoying couple. Another way they've been able to nurture a healthy and thriving relationship is by being very independent of each other in some ways and probably incredibly codependent on each other in others, Flockhart 59 revealed.
Confusing.
Yeah, I don't know what they're talking about here. By being really content being home as a mother, she didn't see them as competing with each other, which ultimately helped make the romance work.
Okay.
In one shining example of her independence, the actress went ahead as a single woman and adopted her son Liam, now 22, a year before she met Ford, and they started dating in 2002. These are just words now, aren't they?
No. As a
Um,
single woman?
a single woman. And they also suggested that an example of her showing the independence from Harrison Ford, which helps their relationship, the
Yeah.
example that they give is that she adopted a son a year before she met him. So
Yes.
that's kind of not the best example.
Yeah.
It scares him, I think, sometimes, she said of her independence. When I first met him, he said, "You are the most self-sufficient woman in the world, and I don't know how I feel about that." I said, "What are you talking about?" Because I didn't recognize I was self-sufficient.
Oh, it sounds like the way they communicate with each other is brilliant.
It's very odd, isn't it? Uh, but then there are the similarities that they each possess that helps make the marriage a little easier to navigate over the years.
Whoopee cushions. That's basically the similarity.
Whoopee cushion, letting out a real Bronx cheer. That's what it used to say on whoopee cushions, wasn't it? That was the
Really?
language.
No,
Yeah,
I don't.
that was the
No.
language that they used because they didn't want to use anything too fruity, so they used a real
Okay.
Bronx cheer.
Bronx cheer. Nice.
Yeah. Um, the other reason it works is we're both pretty introverted, she said. One of the similar traits they share. We stay home a lot, homebodies, which is nice.
Along with the fondness for a fake dog turd.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, Chris, it then goes into the Wikipedia territory of lots of detail about
Mm.
their careers. So we don't need to go into that. But I think you'll agree it was a lot of fun finding out about the wacky practical jokes Calista Flockhart and Harrison Ford play on each other.
Here's to Hollywood's A-list japesters.
Hollywood A-list japesters. They missed the trick not using that phrase. So with that, Chris, I think it's time to wrap up this month's Barely Contained. I think it's been more than adequate.
I would say, yes, I would say pushing on fairly decent.
Yeah, I would say that. I wouldn't blow our own trumpet. It was okay. It was a pretty
Yeah,
good,
I mean,
Barely Contained.
we're not as good as Jesus.
We're not as good as Jesus, and we want to get that on the record.
Yeah.
Um, but Chris, there's a month to go now until March, springtime. We'll be springing forward with another Barely Contained. But in the interim, what would the listener be best advised to do?
There's Pancake Day, Valentine's Day. Oh,
I'm
as
thinking
well, they
more in
could go
the
to.
engaging in the social media sphere.
I see what you mean. Yeah, they could go to X, formerly Twitter, at barely_pod, to interact with the podcast. Or on Facebook, they could go to Barely Contain the Podcast for all manner of bonus content and a full back catalogue.
Absolutely, you can. You can also go to your podcatcher of choice, be that Apple or Spotify or Google or Amazon. Subscribe. Give us a review. Give us. I mean, I'd normally say 5 stars. Probably 3 or 4 this month. Be honest with yourself. But get the word out there. And most importantly, our big news is we are now YouTubers. So you can get Barely Contained on YouTube. Every episode, going back, I think 7 years now, is available on YouTube. You can subscribe to the channel there. You can leave comments. We will get those. So yeah, absolutely. If YouTube is your preferred platform for media online, we are finally there.
Yeah, do it.
Absolutely. Is Jesus there? Probably, but we certainly are. So yeah, please get involved with that. We will be back on the 1st of March. I know we're a little bit late this month, but we will. We've had extenuating circumstances with Chris being a bit of a sickly child, but we will be back on March 1st. So thank you very much, Chris.
Thank you, Matt.
And thank you, the listeners.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Cheers. Bye.